Yeah, great.
I got the inspiration for live streaming and everything else by a guy named Uberman.
Uberman.
Yeah.
So like a Superman, Uberman, huh?
Yeah, he has a camera just like I do. He has a Chevy Cruze as well. His is an automatic, of course. This is a manual.
Ah, it's a stick one.
Yeah.
I saw this. This is like pretty rare for Americans that drive them with a stick.
It is, and I will be glad to say that I am unique, and I like it.
Yeah, of course. I love stick. And how it handles and how it feels. And when it runs smooth, it's like I don't know how to describe, like hot knife cutting the butter.
Oh yeah.
It's like that kind of things. It just runs smooth and great.
And would you believe me if I told you this car has has over 100,000 miles on it already?
Holy crap! How long have you drive for the Uber? I mean, how long have you drive for a like road trip or something like that? Like how come? Because this car seems like it's new.
I try to take care of it as much as I can. Like oil changes, spark plugs, I change them myself. It's getting to the point with oil changes now that it's cheaper to have someone else do it and only pay like $45 or whatever.
Sounds great.
Because my car has over 75,000 miles, I have to get the high mile one, or high mile oil. So, yeah.
Got that. It's a nice car, huh?
Oh yeah. Gets the job
done. Runs smooth. Yeah, gets the job done.
Okay. So what are you guys majoring in?
Mine is like small business management, and there are like one of them decide to go to a formal school, which is a business like academy in the main campus. But it is like they require like the good grades, which is not the things I have. I am a class student, so
okay.
Yeah. And he is gonna like get an art design or something about like designing the thing. So that's cool to me.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I can't draw, but I love that kind of like art design things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about small business, so I mean, this is technically your own business. So have you ever thought about driving for Uber?
I thought about driving for Uber until that I tried to like driving, and they said that I need what was it called, the social security, social security code, which I don't have because I'm an international student. So yeah, and I asked for the school about like this kind of things. They said that international student only can like work like on campus jobs, so you can't like work the job that's outside of the campus.
Okay.
And which they pay for the pretty low salary, about like $8 per hour. But that is not the like hard work job. That is a casual job working in the cafeteria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, bummer. I would think though that even if you were international, you would have a social security number.
We don't have until we get a job inside of the campus.
Okay.
Then we can like do like things such as like credit cards, some things like other than this.
Huh.
Yeah. That's the things that we have to experience. It's the first time that I have to be like facing like this kind of problem.
I was gonna say, like, that's something completely new for me. I don't know, like say if I were to go overseas to go to college, whether or not I would have to deal with something like that, 'cause I have my social memorized from when I was in the Army. So I don't, even if they say like you need your social security card, I'm like, do I need to show it to you, or do I just need to write it down on the application? They're like, oh, you just gotta write it down. I'm like, I don't need it, I got it memorized. What? It happens. Like, that was our identification for a while, our social, like last 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sounds like great to you. I mean, yeah, for like us, it is more complicated, but yeah, that is the reason they probably like want us to like focus on the academy, or probably they don't want us to stay on the job. Just kidding. Yeah, we are only the students, and yeah, and if we are gonna work, that is just not worth it, because we pay like tons of the fee for the school. Pay like $7 grand per semester.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Yeah, and in the main campus, it was gonna be like 12 grants per semester.
Huh.
So it's not a wise choice to like get a job. You're just gonna focus on your education, and that's all.
I mean, I'm sure they, like, scheduling wise, they would accommodate for specific things and whatnot. Are you guys in any fraternities or sororities?
Like they do like invite me to the fraternity, but the fact, I know it is proper to say, but what they do is like pretty dumb. So they basically has a series of like mission that like you do, and they were gonna call you, and you must like be there like anytime. So you, in order to join them, and I don't think that is like pretty wise for them. Or it's like,
I have a friend of mine. I do have a friend of mine who's in teak. And the way he described it to me, it is literally a brotherhood and organization that will help each other out with different things like schoolwork and whatnot. They take
great.
They do take an emphasis on school. You have to have really good grades. They will help you keep manage those grades because they do some stuff or whatever. They have parties. In fact, this is on the other side of the state that he lives on, but I actually helped out there as a designated DD, and the fraternity in question is actually paying me to do that.
Oh, that sounds great. That like that the things that just like getting drunk and like get drugs or something. Is that that kind of thing? Well, I didn't join them, but I only like heard of them and what they said of the require. I can like reach their require because I have my own like private time that I want to keep for myself. I don't want to be like all the time. So yeah, I decided to not join them. But it is like very good to hear that fraternity like for other school. I don't know like our school. It's like other like university. That is like pretty good. Sounds like it's very positive and healthy.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't want to get into anything that is not healthy or anything like that.
Yeah.
You want to make sure it's legal too, like especially for doing something like this. A lot of people are going to say it's not a real job. And for the past month, I have just done Uber, Lyft, and I also drive for DoorDash. And it's paying the bills. The only thing I got to watch out for at the end of the year are taxes. But I record my miles, and 9 times out of 10, it covers. So that way I don't owe anything, and I may actually get a little something back.
That seems like awesome, I would say.
Oh yeah, like business expenses, like car repairs. Like I've got a car repair I will need to do probably the next month or so. Yeah, I mean, just keep the receipt.
That sounds like great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if I can like get any chance to stay in here, the side job will be at the Uber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would also recommend getting into like not just Uber but Lyft as well. So that way you have a more open market, because if you just do Uber, not a lot of people use Uber. They use Lyft as well. So you want to have the opportunity to help other people, because you never know. You really never know. They may eventually start working on cash payments. So that's something there. I think it only works for like different situations. Like if you've done Uber enough to where you are trustworthy, then
I see.
You don't just right off the bat get to use cash. As far as I know, this is coming from someone who was from India that I gave a ride to, and he said that you got to have like 5 runs under your belt or something like that. It's not that hard, or not that much.
I see. As long as you just like keeping your like road good.
Yeah.
Like being your road being like good as a driver. Yeah, it's a good system of helping like more people. They got an issue with their car, and they can like just doing this.
Oh yeah. And also like, especially since we're going to Oxford and whatnot. Last time I was in Oxford, there were so many people needing rides for Uber and Lyft that I was busy for an entire hour and made like $30. May not seem like a whole lot, but think about it like this. If you keep doing that almost consistently, you're making at least $25-$30 an hour.
That sounds like great.
You would have to get into a factory to do something like that. And I've had a lot of people saying like, oh, the miles that you put on your car and all that, blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
the miles are going to go on there anyway.
Yeah, anyway, and driving is a lot of fun for like people who likes driving.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
used to
us.
deliver pizza.
Yeah. Oh, great.
I don't anymore, but that was something I would always look forward to, like going to work, because I get to drive and I don't know half the time where I'm going. Especially with this, like Uber, I can go anywhere in Indiana and Ohio.
Driving a pizza to the Indian.
Yeah, I can go out to Indiana and turn on the app and get a request out there and good to go. Now,
I see.
Lyft, you can actually drive in anywhere in the United States, like 48 states, like California or New York. It really just depends. Like sometimes different states will have different laws or whatever. You can't operate there. Like New York City, you have to have a different license.
Why?
It's because of the market out there. They just want to have that on there for everyone.
It seems like it is like good, and I mean, it is always fun to have a road trip doing your job. It sounds
my gosh, yes.
Sounds like fascinating, and yet like I know like Uber like got a like 3-hour drive or something like that.
I did hear about that. He there was also another guy who was working in Cincinnati. He did a full night. He made like, I don't know, $200. He was doing great. He was going to call the night but do one more run. Well, that one more run took him all the way to Pittsburgh.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a long way drive. That's really.
Can you imagine the fare on that? Like,
Can't.
From here about to, let's say, Akron, Ohio, which is up near Lake Erie, like on the northeast corner of Ohio.
Like Cleveland.
Cleveland, no,
Cleveland.
that general area. It's like $500.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do the Uber. That's my main job, not the side job.
I mean, if you wanted to, I mean, like for me, I just plan it out. Like, okay, do I really want to drive in crappy weather? Like, if it was, this is fine. But if it's like a tornado warning or whatever, yeah, my tail is staying inside. Probably on the toilet or near the toilet, protecting myself.
Yeah. Not driving in like insanely foggy days or some tornadoes, something like that. That is just insane.
Well, I mean, foggy weather either is not that bad. It's the extreme weather, like if you were to get heavy snow or whatever. It's a safety hazard. You got to make that judgment call.
Yeah, of course, in order to protect yourself.
Yeah. I mean, would you, as your person, would you want to drive in road conditions that are so slick that you can't go over 5 miles an hour? Would you really want to do that and then have other people in your car that may be drunk?
I ain't not gonna do that, but if they paid like a lot and they don't like throw out in my cars, yeah, I will. Well, I can't like control it to not throw out, so I will suggest. I will say no.
I mean, that happened last year. There was it rained like pretty heavier than this, and then it froze overnight, and the surges over in Cincinnati were so high that it was like 6.0, so times 6 a normal fare. So if you're going from like downtown Cincinnati to Mason, maybe $20, $22 times 6. So you're looking at over $100 that you would have to pay, because not a lot of drivers are going to want to drive, and then anybody who does are going to need some sort of incentive. One, to be safe. Two, to get out on the road to help other people get home.
Yep. $100 for seeing out to the Mason. What a great deal, huh?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, if they like someone calling Uber but they are drunk, and they're like too drunk, they're starting to ruining your car. Do you have the right to like decline this like deal or something?
Yeah, like say if, not saying you guys would, but kind of as an example, if you guys were to be disruptive in my car, you were to start hitting the windows, you actually break a window, I could say, okay, you guys are not getting a ride from me, I'm calling the cops. You as a person, as a driver, are able to make your own decisions. If you don't want to drive, if I didn't want to drive today, I didn't have to.
Sounds great. Yeah, in order to be like protect yourself and protect your cars.
Exactly.
Yeah. Back to the question about the opportunity. So Have you heard of like Miami University about this like party town at downtown of the Oxford campus or something like that?
I've heard Oxford a little bit, not really Miami University. I've heard of Athens being a party town, but more like around Halloween.
Ah, yeah, I have heard of it.
But yeah, Miami, I don't know.
So yeah, what? I know it's like proper to say, and I don't know is it true or not. And yeah, there's something happened in that semester when they're getting drunk, and they just like someone getting drunk and jumped down from the roof. He's trying to get into a pool, but he ends up to be like broken his neck, and he now is like paralyzed, so he can
man.
like have to sit on the wheelchair. And yeah, that's the reason I heard, because I heard that it's like told by the fraternity, but if it is not, it's like pretty good. Yeah, because of this, so I didn't join for the fraternity. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, I mean, you want to make judgment calls on your own part yourself. You want to protect your own self.
Yeah.
That guy just sounds like he got trashed way too quickly and just blacked out. It happens to the best of us, and that's why, like, whenever I drink at home. I don't go to bars.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because
that would be a great idea.
If I were to do anything that would include a vehicle, there goes my job.
Ah, yeah. True. So, what's like fraternity like for you guys? Is that always been that like positive and healthy to you guys?
I mean,
like, to in your culture.
I'm not in a fraternity myself. I'm just speaking like as an outsider talking about one. But from what I understand, it is very positive. Like, if someone were to threaten to commit suicide, everybody will be flocking to that guy to make sure he's okay. It's
like great.
It's a brotherhood.
Ah, I see.
So if you're looking for something that'll just watch out for you, and you want to watch out for other people, I mean, you've got your friends, of course. But if you want to meet more people as well, you don't have to drink to party. You really don't.
Yeah. Exactly. If you can drink, just don't drink.
Drink to get drunk. Don't drink to get drunk.
Yeah. That is what a nice sentence, huh?
Yeah.
Hope like more people would know this. But most of the people, well, not most of, like some people, they just don't know this.
Yeah, unfortunately
they keep
not.
like getting drunk and getting so fucked.
But what can you do?
Yeah, we can. And I mean, we literally can do anything, like as long as we just like keep telling them, and they just like didn't hear of us. That's all we can do. We just getting like suggest them not to drink that up.
Yeah.
So where do you from? I mean, do you just drive around like from Ohio, or you always drive like from your home and then come to here or something like that?
I mean, I'm from Lebanon, Ohio, which is a couple cities over, or maybe like a city over from Middletown. Like, I'm sure you saw when you got me, it was like 20-minute drive.
Yes.
It really wasn't that bad, like 10 miles. Like,
I see.
nice little drive and all that. I got used to the rain, like on the way and all that.
Ah, yeah.
So
Seems great.
it's really not that bad.
So,
Go ahead.
I mean, I just like wondering. So, Uber driver do? Oh, yeah. It depends on you guys. I just gonna ask, like, do you guys like drive all over the night and found like some hotel and get a sleep and then start giving a job or something like that?
I mean, you could do that. I know some drivers will stay in their car and then like go to a gym and get a shower that way, just to stay on the road more.
I see.
Me personally, I don't do that. My home is my home. That's where I take my showers. That's everything else. I don't, unless I am traveling. Like, I did have an opportunity to go out to Myrtle Beach at one point and do Lyft, but I didn't take it because the funds weren't there. Like, I wanted to be smart about it, and yeah, so I didn't really want to do that.
I see. Sounds great. Yeah, because I kind of be like enjoy the road trip, and I mean I'm not being like fascinated by like sleeping in the car or something, but if I gonna do the road trip, that is gonna be a mess over there. And
Yeah.
if I can do the Uber job at the same time, that would be awesome.
I mean, just to travel and then get paid to do it. I mean, yeah, I'll do that. If today even, like I usually run both Uber and Lyft while I'm waiting for a run, and then I turn the one of them off, and you let the other one go as I pick up someone and whatnot. But like say after I drop you guys off, I get a Lyft run that takes me all the way out of Michigan. I'm obviously going to take it. I mean, I'm not going to say no. I would have to be an idiot.
Yeah. So, do you guys like know like where to go like before you like drive us?
Not really. Remember, like at the beginning of the trip, I'm like, oh, wait, where are we going?
Oh.
And that was because I saw the timer here that said 45 minutes. I'm like, okay, where are we going here?
Yeah.
I don't know we don't know where you're going until you actually get in the car and we start the trip.
And then, do you guys know like how far, like about of average? Because there were gonna be like if you had to have like a meeting or you have dates or something, and it ends up be like the last trip. You don't know like how far it is, but when you catch the guy, it's gonna be like 2-hour drive or something like that. Do you guys like know anything about it?
I mean, it comes down to, like, say if I did have a date, like in an hour or so, I probably would not even have been online. I just would have waited at home, and yeah.
True.
It really comes down to, like, okay, do I have anything to do for the rest of the night? No? Okay, so I'll turn it on. If I have something I need to do in 3 hours, maybe stay on for like an hour and a half, maybe an hour, see if I get anything, and then shut it off. Work smarter, not harder. You don't want to rush to get to a date from like 2 states away.
Of course. Yeah.
I don't think your date would be very happy with that.
Yep.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm dealing with a sinuses, so my throat's kind of
that's
messed
fine.
up right now.
That's fine. I mean, I have the same thing that's like last few days.
That's why I'm also chewing gum too. Like it kind of it's soothing.
Yes, that helps.
Oh yeah. Do you guys want any gum?
Oh, that's fine. We're just like you don't need.
Okay. I didn't want to seem like inconsiderate or anything like that. I didn't want to seem inconsiderate or anything like that.
I see. Yeah, I heard of like if you're gonna drive the Uber, your car can be like gold, your car can be like sports car.
It really depends on the car. You have to at least see 3 or 4 extra people, but I've seen Mustangs be eligible to drive it, and those seat an extra 3, including the driver. So 4 seats altogether. So I'm thinking it has to be at least a 3 extra seats in total. So yeah, Mustangs, Camaros, that'll work.
Then my car's really gonna work.
What kind of car do you drive?
It's a pretty old car. It's a classic sports car called like 3000 GT. It's a Japanese car.
Ooh.
You know that?
The GT?
Yeah, the
heck
3000 GT. It's
cool.
at the same time when the Acura NSX, the Nissan GTR, and what's that called? The Supra.
Okay.
Yeah, like the sports. That's just like four of the most famous Japanese sports cars at the same generation.
Huh. What year is it?
It's like 1996. It's old.
It
I
won't
love
work
old
out.
cars. Like old Corvette. It just kills me.
The newer Corvettes altogether are pretty slick. I would love to get at least one generation of a Corvette in my garage. But in terms of using that as a Uber, you actually can't. It has to be 2004 and newer.
Yeah,
or 2000 and newer, excuse me.
Yeah, my car is like 1996, so it can be.
Yeah. I think it might be 2004 or newer. I think.
Seems like it's newer, like 2010.
I mean, that was at first the requirement, but now it's not anymore.
Oh.
It used to also be like it had to be 7 years, like 7 years older. So like every new year, like say if I had a let's say a 2010 or 2011 car, yeah, it'll work for a year, and then like when the next year comes through, like you can't drive it anymore. That I was not too thrilled about because like this is a 2012. This car is 5 years old.
I see.
But in 2 years, I wouldn't be able to drive it anymore. I thought that was kind of stupid. And then they came out with it has to be this specific year in nowhere, which makes sense at this point.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, hopefully they do like keep a rule like as the times go in. Like if you like you keep like Uber as your work Uber as your like main job, and suddenly you have to buy a new car in order to like work again. That's awful.
Yeah, I mean, if you plan your money out correctly, I mean, you could theoretically start getting a lot of money, and you can get as many cars as you want, as long as you can afford it.
Yeah, that's true.
My problem is I try to stick towards like Chevy or Ford, that sort of thing. A lot of the foreign cars, repairability wise, are not very good. Like Chevy has been a proven fact that those things can run 300,000 miles without any problem.
300,000 miles. Sounds like awesome.
But I mean, you got to keep up with it, like upkeep and whatever, and if you just keep it regular maintenance or whatever, you're fine. It'll last a while.
I see. Sounds great.
Oh yeah. The Hondas, I don't know. Especially the hybrids and all that with the batteries, the batteries don't last long.
Yeah, I don't think that the technology of them is like mature enough in order to like keep kept for like such as like 300,000 miles.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you would get a pretty hefty battery replacement fee, and it just wouldn't work.
That's not worth it. If that happens. Like cool and dry inside of the car and seeing like outside is a great experience.
Yeah. Not very often either do I get a chance to go out to Oxford. Because I don't just drive somewhere and start driving for Uber. I usually start at home and then go wherever I need to go.
Yeah. And welcome to Oxford.
Thank you. Remember the first time coming out here, that was fun. It was
So I invite you to a party?
No. It was for Uber. Like they needed someone from Middletown actually needed to ride to Oxford. This is not the first time I've done this trip before.
I see.
And that was also the same night where I had like, I don't know, 10 runs in an hour almost. That was fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When I was small, I was always like wondering like those towers when they fall, when there's like wind blowing or something.
Usually not really. Like if you look at these towers, they have X's and triangles in them and all that. The triangles are very stable when it comes to structural engineering. Squares will break easily, circles will break easily, but triangles, you've got 3 points of stress or 3 points of contact that can hold it at specific points. Yeah. And where they would break is in those points. So you have more structural stability there. It kind of reinforces itself on top of that. I mean, like these poles here, I mean, yeah, they are going to fall over in high wind, and it's unfortunate, but they're cheap. Like, cheaper than doing those big towers.
Yeah. And they got, like what was that, though? Like, that holds, no, it's the wire made by, like, metal or something that holds the tower.
Oh, I mean, depending on the tower, too. And the wire, like, sometimes the wire just gives. But like structural cables and whatnot, they're made to handle high stress.
That's new to me to know like triangle is the most strong. Yeah, what was it called? I forget like what is like such as like square, circle, triangle. What was that called? Shape, yes.
Oh, shapes, yeah.
Yeah, this is the first year. Oh, it's the second year. The start of the second year I come to America.
Oh,
So
okay.
I didn't speak like it.
You're doing pretty good so far, though.
Thank you.
No problem. Hey, another Chevy Cruze.
Yeah. It's your
For
brother.
sale, too.
Oh.
Huh. Yeah, huh. Uh-huh. Because they're actually not that expensive cars. I mean, when I got this, I got it for $9,000. Yeah, I had to get...
That's a great price.
I mean, I did have to get a loan on it, but still, it wasn't that bad at all. Payments are like 200 something.
200 per month?
Like 267 per month.
Oh, that's great.
And then insurance is like next to nothing because I haven't had any speeding tickets or anything like that. Any accidents I've been in were not my fault. I was a victim in every one of them.
That's great too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if there is a police like around like Oxford or something, I would get tons of speeding tickets already.
I mean, you just gotta be careful.
Yeah.
You see it, make sure you're going the speed limit, don't be suspicious. If they pull you over, don't be scared. They are good people to talk to.
Ah, great.
While I'm waiting on a run, and they're waiting on someone to pull over or whatever, or just patrolling, I'll pull over next to them and talk to them.
Ah, yes.
Sometimes they want to talk about Uber, sometimes they want to share some stuff about their job. I mean, it really just depends on the situation.
They do they?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh.
Like little things, like not ongoing investigations or like that. I'm not an informant or that sort of thing.
That's pretty good to hear that.
Cops are really cool though. Even getting pulled over by state highway patrols, they're not that bad of people.
Sounds great.
Oh yeah. The one time I did get pulled over by state highway patrol, it was because I missed the white line next to a stop sign. But the problem was it just rained, it was pitch black, and you couldn't see it. So I obviously drove over it, and he pulled me over for that because he could see it just by the angle. And I just told him like, hey, I'm sorry, because of the rain I couldn't see it. And just chit chat a little.
Being cool.
Yeah, just be cool about it. Yeah. Because in the end, they are people too. They're just doing a job that sometimes makes them have to be jerks, but they're good people in the end.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
What is that mustache on your car?
Oh, that's...
JYA.
That is a light-up like sticker sign for both Uber and Lyft. Lyft has always used a mustache as their logo, where Uber has used the disc.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, like later at night it will. I have a couple switches underneath my. Yeah, it'll glow. So I have a couple of switches underneath my steering wheel that will light up everything. I've got lights in the car here,
cool.
but because it's light out, like the sun's out, I can't have them on right now, and you'd be able to see them. Speaking of cops.
Oh, there are tons of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great that they're near the campus.
Oh, yeah. Usually colleges have their own campus PD.
Never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know about it. Well, but when we first day come over here, they did say that there's a pole over there. If you push the button, there's a police will come right.
Oh yeah.
Right down there.
Nice.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh.
Yeah, I have to
Car
go
died.
left. So.
He's in the Navy. The guy in uniform's in the Navy.
Yeah, I saw that. What's going on? I just wondering.
I think his car died, so they're jumping his car.
Oh. stop over there to try to give a space from the car right away.
Mainly for protection.
I love the Honda New Civic. The shape of it. Shape of
Hondas.
of the rear, like the rear bump.
Yeah, they're
Looks
okay.
like sporty, huh?
No. Every time I think of a Civic, I always think of the fart box everyone puts on them to make them sound louder and faster, but they're not.
Those racers, huh?
Right. If you're gonna do anything, actually make it performance-wise. Make it so if you put it on the dyno, that it is actually going to perform. You don't want to make something sound cool. You want to make it do good.
Do good, yeah.
Like
to like
not
increase
cool.
how like horsepower,
horsepower, torque, everything else.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, this thing probably pushes like 120 horsepower, even with the turbo, but it still gets the job done.
Yeah.
When I first got it,
honestly, it's get the job done. It's
Yeah.
a good car.
yeah. I mean, when I first got this car, it had a Mustang, like two teenagers in a Mustang trying to race me, and I'm like, no. And it was just Ray too, so like the roads were all slick or whatever. So we're at a stoplight, and
They're trying to be like
they're trying to be cool and all that.
Yeah. They're hitting the zone and like.
Oh yeah, they were
That's
doing that.
stupid to do in the rain because I knew like someone who already like crushed their what's it called BMW M5.
Ugh.
It was like 500 horsepower and the guy just ruined his car.
Yeah, like you got to be smart if
you are the first year who driving the car with the big torque or like the big horsepower, you better be wise on using them because you never know until you slip yourself or something.
Yeah.
You never know if you can control it.
I mean, you hear or you see on YouTube all the time where Mustangs just like to plow into crowds of people. And this guy, that was trying to race me, like when the light turned green, he immediately spins out and goes into the other lane. I just control, launch, and go. But I'm not trying to race or anything like that.
Yeah, the dumbest thing they do is like spin.
Oh yeah. Now, I will be honest, I probably will spin my tires here. That's just because hills and manuals suck.
Yeah. And most of them are driving with the auto. I don't mean that the auto is like not that good, but if you are gonna driving a sports car, you must drive it with stick.
Exactly.
Because you will waste like 20% of the. Well, it is with the old auto transmission, but I don't know like how, like what works it right now. But it must be like got a waste on the power.
Not really, kind of. I mean, in an automatic, you have no control of the horsepower that you actually output. Like, if we were in an automatic right now, it would immediately try shifting to like third gear or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I have not left first gear yet. That's because I know I'm going to need that power, like here, second gear.
Yeah.
Because I know I need the power, and I got it now where I'm moving.
So yeah, that's how it works, and it's just like annoying when you're driving the auto transmission and it just like shifted for yourself.
Yeah.
For you, but you have to be like stay on that gear. Just like makes annoying.
It does get annoying. another great difference between automatics and manuals. Manuals are easier to work on.
Yeah, it's way more easier to fix with.
Because normally the thing that'll go out on a manual transmission is the clutch. If you really mess up the transmission, you strip the gears or something like that, then you probably should just not drive.
Yeah.
Like automatics, because the gears are rotating, all the gears are rotating in a planetary way and whatnot. It is so complicated, and not a lot of transmission guys will work on them.
Yeah. When it's got the problems on it, it must be like you must pour like all your money into it and fixes to get it done.
I mean, cars are money holes anyway. I mean,
yeah, it's a money pit.
It's just my money pit. It happens to also make me money too, so it makes sense to spend a little cash on this thing.
Yeah. So are those the interior from the original?
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the RS package. Usually it could be like black or hard plastic or whatever.
Yeah.
The RS package adds a little bit more like body structure on the outside, like more plastic on the edges and whatnot. Kind of give it a more sporty look. RS Rally Sport.
Oh, I see. So it's great.
Oh yeah. This is definitely a fun little car to drive. Another car I was looking into getting into before I got this was a Honda CRZ.
CRZ. Oh, you mean the one is the SUV?
No, that's
CRZ.
That's the CRV.
CRV. Oh.
The CRZ is a little two-seater. Little two-seater, two-door. That is a hybrid, and a lot of them are automatics, but you can actually get the manual transmission hybrid, which is the first of its kind. So that's why it kind of caught my attention. Like, you can get into the manual? Really? Okay. So
It's not that bad. So you can be like, I know, auto manual.
yeah. So am I going left into here?
Like go straight.
Okay.
Go straight over there, and at the next crossroad, turn left.
Okay. Because it wants me just to drop you off there. Yeah, I don't think so.
And
These are nice apartments, though.
Yeah, they do got a nice apartment. It's a new apartment. It's called Annex.
Okay.
We live in the level 27, which is also a nice apartment. But those are for like for the house. We are for like the dorms, like rooms. And turn left over here.
Left, okay.
Yes. Our building is at the back of there.
So to turn right?
Turn right, yes.
Okay.
Great, yes, it's right here at that door over there.
Right here? Okay.
Yes.
Pull over right here for you guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, how can I subscribe your YouTube channel, huh?
Oh yeah, let me get that on there real quick.
Robot do 101, yep.
It should be that. No space between the robot and the...
I see. That is a problem, huh?
No space between the 101.
So there's no space between 101.
Right.
Alright, I see. 101.
Okay, maybe not. Yeah, actually, just go to my YouTube real quick.